It happened. It finally happened. NetGalley answered our prayers. We now have a send to Kobo button inside of NetGalley. We're so back. Oh, we're so back. NetGalley finally gave us a send to Kobo button. I am so excited. I don't have to do some weird magic trick to get the books on there onto my Kobo anymore, and I'm so excited. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca, and if you've been here for a little bit, you know that I am a recent Kobo convert. I have been really enjoying my time with it, but the one stickler I've had is that NetGalley switched from EPUB to LCPL or something for their file types on a whim, didn't say anything to the rest of us, and they're just like, sorry about you if you're not a Kindle user. You need a Kindle to get your books on here, or you need to use our NetGalley reader, which defeats the purpose of an e-reader because I don't want to read on an app on my phone or my iPad. If I did, I wouldn't have an e-reader. So anyway, it has dropped. We now have a send to Kindle, we now have a send to Kobo button, and I am so excited about it. There is a caveat. Not every imprint has gotten on board. Penguin Random House, I'm looking at you, girl. As of right now, I still cannot click a send to Kobo button if I'm approved for a Penguin Random House book. I'm hoping that changes soon because it is driving me batty. So I'm having to keep my Paperwhite around for a little bit longer until they get with the program. But HarperCollins jumped right on board. Simon & Schuster said, hey, you can get our books on Kobo immediately. But Penguin Random House, and then there have been a couple of small ones. And I know it's literally a button click because this lovely person at NetGalley told me in our support chat. I'm inserting a screenshot here. So I know it's an easy fix. They just need to do it. So we'll see. I'm hoping that happens soon because I would like to retire my Kindle permanently. I don't like using her. I only use her as a data transfer thing at this point, and that's just annoying and feels wasteful. And I have someone in my family who would like it, and I would love to be able to give it to them and for them to actively use it. So ready for that to happen. So that is so exciting. I also wanted to touch on the option to customize your screensavers. If you have gotten deep into the Kindle girly lore, you know that custom screensavers are a big thing over there, but actively using them is a very crappy experience. It's not like that over here, and I'm going to show you how it's so easy to do. I also wanted to show you how to install the clock modification so that when you're in a book, you can actually see the time at the top, because right now they don't do that. It's very casino-esque behavior in they're like, well, they want you inside, there's no windows, there are no clocks, you have no idea how long you've been gambling. Same thing but for reading. And you know what? When it's Saturday, I do enjoy not having a clock on there. But when I'm trying to get in a few pages before work or on my lunch break, I need to be able to see the time. I just need to be able to see the time. So I have installed one of the mods, and so far it's been good. I haven't noticed any behavioral issues with my Kobo. I have a couple of things that bother me a little bit, but we'll get into that when we move over to the computer so you can see how to get it on your Kobo. Hello, dear friends. Let's look at how to get a custom wallpaper onto your Kobo. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is pop into Canva and set up your canvas. You can use this with a free account. You do not need to pay for a subscription, and you can use whatever app you prefer, but I like to use Canva because it's cheap and easy. So our width is going to be 1264 and our height is going to be 1680, and then we're going to hit create new design. This is the height and width of your Kobo screen. So this is what you want it to look like, and then from here, throw in whatever photos you want. So I'm gonna look at past photos I have. Let's say I want to use this beachy looking thing with these palm trees. I would just resize it to my liking, and then when I'm done, I would go to the share button inside of Canva, and I would hit download and save. Okay, first things first, you're going to plug in your Kobo and then find it in your sidebar. I'm on a Mac, so it's in Finder under Locations. On Windows, I know it'll show up in File Explorer as well. And if you don't see this .kobo folder on Mac, you're going to do Command-Shift period, and that makes it appear. And if you do Command-Shift period again, it'll make it go away. I don't know what the hotkey is for Windows. I want to say it's just Control-Shift period, but I could be wrong. But you're going to double-click into that .kobo file. And right now I have all these things in here, but there's nothing for screensaver. So what I'm going to do is make a new folder. I'm going to title it screensaver, all lowercase, no space between screen and saver. And then what I'm going to do, let me open a new tab, is pop over into my downloads. Let's see here. We're gonna grab that palm trees and we're gonna throw it into the screensaver folder, okay? So now that that's done, I can eject my Kobo. Okay, so I ejected it. I'm going to unplug. Give it a second. I think it went already. It's so fast, especially because I only did one. Lock the screen. Yep, and there are my palm trees. So they pop right up. This is great. And what's nice about this is I didn't have to open a book to get this to work. It was just here. So I don't have to do anything to find them. It will just do that. And if you lock the screen, it will be your screensaver. Okay, so it goes really fast. Once you eject your Kobo, it may go to a white screen that says like it's loading content, and it may take a second, especially if you add multiples. You can add however many you want, and it will just rotate through those photos every time you lock your Kobo. Or it might be on a timer. I'm not 100% sure, because last time I put like 5 or 6 on there, and sometimes it would pop up with the same one on there, and then sometimes it would change. But it would just kind of depend on how long my reading sessions were. Or sometimes I wasn't even reading, I was just going to check to see if something was on my Kobo, so it wouldn't be as quick. But once you lock the screen, your screensaver will pop up. Now, if you, like me, make any kind of book content, this is lovely in your everyday life, but not so much when you're trying to take a photo of the cover of the book. And so what I do is I move that screensavers folder we saw from earlier in that .kobo folder, and I just pop it on my desktop temporarily, eject my Kobo, the screensavers go away, and it goes back to defaulting to showing you your book covers when you lock the screen. So it's very easy to plug and play. It's very easy to update them. I tend to be a person who enjoys really being into the seasons I'm in. So I could very easily see in fall having a dark academia situation for my screensavers. I actually started out with some really moody looking mountains, and then I moved on to some happier views, if you will. So change it up however you want. It's super duper easy. Just make sure that it's in, I believe, a PNG or JPEG will work, but I don't think you can do it in like PDF or anything. So you need to make sure that it's actually a photo format and that it's a kind of universal photo format. So that is how you put custom lock screens on your Kobo, and you don't even have to open a fake book that has the lock screen, the screensaver in it to make it your lock screen like you do on Kindle. It's so great. It's so, so great. I love it. So now let me show you how you put NickelClock, the clock adaptation that you can do for your Kobo, onto it. Okay, that's better. So first thing we're gonna do to get NickelClock onto our Kobo is Google NickelClock. And it should come up as this shrimp/NickelClock on GitHub should be the first thing that pops up. This is what the page looks like, and you're looking at it and you're like, what is this? It is A-okay, I promise. We're gonna scroll down to the install or upgrade NickelClock option, and it says you're going to download the NickelClock zip from the latest release. I usually click on this blue latest release option, and it takes me to the page that actually has the download for it. I click on the .zip file and it downloads. And so now I'm going to bring you over to my downloads. Now you can see we have the zip here. It says a 1 in parentheses because I downloaded this before. Okay, so you're going to right click on NickelClock and you're going to do open with the unarchiver, or any kind of utility that will unzip the file but not all the way. So on macOS, I like to use the unarchiver. It's free. And you want it to be in this .tgz format because the Kobo is actually going to do the work of unzipping the file. So you don't want to fully unzip it to the point where you see those folders. So what you want instead is to go on, waiting for my Kobo to show up. There it is. We're going to do ads, and I'm actually going to take this out because I made the mistake of fully unzipping to show you. So we're going to drop this Kobo root file over here. I'm going to eject, like so. When I eject my Kobo on my computer, what it looks like on the Kobo is this. I'm waiting for it to go. There it goes. It's gonna pop up in a second and say import, and it just did. And so now, if I go into a book and I go to a page, I now have the time right up there. Let's do this. The time will flash a little bit when the page is changed. I've noticed sometimes it'll flash, but it's not really noticeable when the page changes, but it is noticeable when the minute changes. So when it goes from 5:53 to 5:54 in a second, it's gonna like have a little black bar around it in flash, or if you're reading in dark mode, it'll have a little white bar around it, I think, in flash. A little bit annoying, but I really don't notice it that much as I'm reading. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know it's a possibility, because when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, I don't love that, but I don't love not having time at all more. So hope that made sense. So those are the little tips and tricks that I have. As I mentioned before, I will probably do another video in maybe August where I try out Kobo Plus, and I will let you know how I feel about it, if I think it's worth a monetary value, selection, things like that. So that being said, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Let's pass it back to Rebecca from the beginning. All right, thanks for sticking with me through the computer segment. I hope you found that super helpful. I would love to know, if you're new to Kobo, what your favorite things are about it. If you're questioning it, if you have questions, throw them down below. I'll try to answer some. I think maybe later this summer, I will test out Kobo Plus. That's the one thing I still haven't tested out yet. Cost-wise, it looks great, especially the audiobook version. There's an audio only, ebook only, or you can do a combined one. And the combined one is like, I think $2 more than Kindle Unlimited. And it's obviously a different library because Amazon locks Kindle Unlimited authors into their program, unfortunately. But what I have noticed is a significant amount of backlist titles from people I knew as Kindle Unlimited authors starting to pop up on Kobo. So we'll see, especially with the amount of them who have done Podium for their audiobooks. I think those are starting to make the rounds outside of the Kindle landscape, and that makes me a very happy girl. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.